Guys, to CryptosRUs, I am George. Bitcoin pumps to $40,000. It was really close to $41,000, but right now it is above $40,000. And this pump started from a few days ago, right? When Bitcoin was getting a little bit weaker, and then you know what? The selling from F2 pool stopped. And since then, there has been so much going on, and Bitcoin started going up and up and up and up. And even last night, I talked about how Bitcoin was rising and that it should be at 40,000 maybe as early as yesterday. But you know what? We took an extra day. No biggie. And alts were actually being drained last night. That's what I was talking about during my stream and how it was a pretty good buying opportunity. And I think this morning is also. So let's discuss what's going on with Bitcoin, why it pumped up to 40,000. I don't think it's any surprise at this point. It's going to go much higher. But I'm going to show you guys anyways what I found, what's going on with Bitcoin. I'll also talk about Ethereum. Ethereum recently hit a high of 17 something and now has come back to 1600. Oh no. Should we be scared? And what about the rest of the altcoins such as DeFi, which took a little breather? So that's what today's show is all about. Grab a drink, get your popcorn ready, and let's get started. Thanks for tuning in. As always, smash up the like, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and stay tuned for my future streams. I'm not sure I'm going to have one tonight, quite honestly, on the weekend. I've been streaming twice every day, pretty consistently. I don't know if I'm going to have one tonight. We'll see. We'll see what happens with the market. All right, let me turn it to my screen here. All right, so as you see, Bitcoin just kept going up and up and up, and this was what it was looking like last night. Bitcoin just kept going up and up and up, and all started draining. And I know a lot of you guys in the chat is thinking, oh no, alts are gonna go down now. No, this always happens, guys. For those of you guys that's been in the space longer than just, let's say, 6 months, you'll know that Bitcoin tends to pump, and sometimes when it pumps really hard. And that's because, you know what, all the liquidity is getting sucked out and they're all being put into Bitcoin. And what happens after Bitcoin pumps it to a level and it holds, and right now it's holding, let's just say above 40,000, right? Then that liquidity tends to flow back in. And we've seen this time and time again within the last 3 years. And if you go back 3 years, it's the same thing. This always happens. So there's a lot of people new in this space. I realize that, you know, they tend to look at things day to day or week. No, you got to look out further. This is part of the learning experience. This is why new players in the game tend to get scared out really quick because they haven't experienced some of these things. So this is perfectly normal. Young Lord says, if Ave hits 1K, I'll take profit. All right, well, keep holding then. So yeah, this is perfectly normal. And you know what? Just to give you a little education on technicals, you know what? This was perfectly natural because if you look at a lot of the indicators like stochastic RSI, MACD, they were all in the overbought territory when Bitcoin was close to $41,000. So it needed to take a breather, and that's what it's doing, right? And even falling from 41,000 down to 40,500, people are like, oh, no, F2 pool is selling it. No, they're not. This is perfectly natural, right? So you gotta keep watching, keep learning from me, and do some research and realize that right now is definitely not time to be scared. Definitely not time to be scared, right? Make sure you hodl, make sure you pick up as much as you can, because even at 40,000, it's cheap compared to where it'll be in the next 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, right? I said that at 20,000. People were laughing at me. 20,000 Bitcoin, how could you say that's cheap? Well, look at it now. It's double, right? And I said that at 10,000. People were like, but we're going to fall back down to 3,000. Wait until another drop. Well, those people are still waiting because now it has gone up 4x. So you don't want to be one of those people. But Bitcoin is definitely doing good things right now. You know, Bitcoin for corporations happened, a lot of excitement. And even today, Bill Miller, one of his new flagship funds is now going to buy GBDC up to 15%. 15% of his 2.25 billion. That's pretty massive, right? Now, this article says may buy, but we know he is. He's a big supporter of Bitcoin. And also his son is a big supporter of Bitcoin. So this is also happening. And I think we're going to hear a lot more public trade companies, maybe even Tesla, announce that they will be buying Bitcoin with their reserve currency. So this is all very good, driving things up. And obviously retail, general investors, the Robinhood generation, they're all coming in. They're looking for alternative. They're looking at ways to stick it to Wall Street. And the real way to stick it to Wall Street is to buy Bitcoin. That's honestly it. You buy Bitcoin to stick it to Wall Street, because Bitcoin is meant to basically replace everything there is in terms of financial institutions, central banks, everything. And altcoins and DeFi replaces everything else, such as trading and all that stuff. So it's very, very, very nice. Very nice indeed. All right, so a couple of charts to show you. Let's back some of this up with real data here. I'm gonna have to move my camera so you guys can see this. So this is a chart of all exchange reserves. This is how much Bitcoin is held on the exchanges, right? So this red line is the reserve, and the black line is Bitcoin's price. So since March of 2020, when we had that little dip, right, you could see that the reserves started dropping. And then when Bitcoin got up to about 10,000, 11,000, it really started dropping. And you can see now, despite the fact that we had some volatility, 42,000 down to 28,000, up to 37,000, down to 32,000, and now back up to 40,000, you can see the reserve keeps dropping lower and lower and lower and lower. What does that mean? That means more and more people are now not trying to trade Bitcoin. They're hodling. They're taking it out of exchanges because they're either they're putting it into a hardware wallet, a mobile wallet, some kind of secure wallet, or they're putting it into some custody service, or it could be that some people are exchanging this, right, through DEXs or wrapping them, right, with wrap BTC or something like that, and utilizing for DeFi. But I think the majority of the reasons is the first two. Is that people are simply not trading it anymore. People are simply holding it. And when you have more and more and more people holding something, guess what? The price is going to go up. Demand is going through the roof and supply keeps decreasing. And you can see that liquidity on exchanges keeps going down. So over time, it's going to get lower and lower and lower and lower. And eventually, when there is just no more supply, that no one is really selling Bitcoin at all anymore, guess what? That's when Bitcoin will go up to $400, $500, $1 million each, right? And to give you guys an update on F2 Pool, some people were concerned, oh, is F2 Pool selling again? No, ever since my investigation, they've been really, really tame. So February 2nd, you can see that their outflows pretty low. The fourth, second and third. Fourth, they upped it a little bit, but then, starting from the fifth, maybe I brought it up again. They realized people are still paying attention. The fifth dropped, and now the sixth. This is all very normal. You could see that. Look at this compared to this, right? The outflows before, outflows now. It's substantially lower. So right now, they are either done selling or playing it cool because they know people are paying attention. Either way, this is not going to go on forever. This is not going to go on forever because people are paying attention. And plus, there's a lot more money flowing in. There's a lot of people buying. So going forward, they're going to become more and more less relevant. But it's good to keep an eye on them every so often. So I'll continue to do so. Now, what else is there? Grayscale. Grayscale asset under management is now at $30 billion. $30 billion. That's not all Bitcoin, but most of it is. So here's another chart that shows that their holdings is around 650,000 Bitcoin. So though it kind of topped out recently. So this flat line you can see is when they shut down new clients. And then when they open up, it jumped up huge, and now it's slowing down a little bit. We'll see if this starts going up, because if it does, right, it's definitely going to help. But the interesting thing is when this went up, Bitcoin's price went down, right? That's where it seemed like the F2 pool selling was even greater. The selling pressure was greater than the buying pressure, but that seems to have all turned around. But interesting to see that this is continuing to climb, right? 650,000 Bitcoins within Grayscale. That is a lot. And that built up really, really, really quickly within like basically years' time. All right. And then last I want to talk about, well, for Bitcoin, there's more I want to talk about, of course. ARK Invest, which I talked about, Kathy Wood's CEO, she's very bullish on crypto and Bitcoin. Actually, more Bitcoin than crypto. But there's someone else in her group, an analyst within her group that says Bitcoin could reach $390,000 within this bull run. That would approximately give it 8 trillion market cap with nearly 80% of gold supply. So if you look at it that way, 8 trillion, 390,000 sounds like a lot, but it's still 80% of gold supply. There's absolutely no reason why it can't reach gold's market supply. So if it does, Bitcoin will be more like 600,000 per Bitcoin. So that is the new goal. You know, it's irrelevant to look at it in USD denomination because we know USD keeps deflating and devaluating, and it's inflating right in front of our eyes. So that's not really relevant. What's relevant is, can it match gold? And if it does, then it's going to overtake gold. Then it's time for the world to really adopt Bitcoin over gold at that point. And you know what? We may see it in the near future, much sooner than people expect. All right, so that's Bitcoin. Now, the second part is, of course, what's going on with everything else? You know, like I said at the beginning, a lot of people coming into the space, they're like, oh no, Bitcoin is pumping and altcoins are going down. So it's doom and gloom for altcoins. That's not really it. First of all, BTC dominance is at 62%, which is really healthy. In fact, this is among the lowest I've seen. I mean, in 2018, when altcoins really pumped up, Bitcoin dominance dropped to like 30%. But outside of that point, Bitcoin dominance has always been 90s, 80s. You know, we have seen even 70s recently. Now dropping to 60, it was really, really close to dropping to 50s. And that's because the altcoins are really, really strong right now. A lot of people believe in them. A lot of them do have legs, and they can stand up, and they have fantastic team idea, project, adoption. Not all of them, but some of them do, right? So right now, Ethereum is a big one. And I've been turning bullish on Ethereum recently because I realized that they are the big dog. When it comes to store value, it's Bitcoin. But when it comes to the network protocol, the big dog is Ethereum. They're above $100 billion, and they do have all the traction, and most DeFi projects are running on top of them. And Grayscale is about to CME is about to introduce their Ethereum futures, and Grayscale clients have been buying up Ethereum trusts by the boatload too. In fact, I do have a chart. I think I have a chart for that. Yes, this is a chart. Grayscale's Ethereum holding, you know, for a long time, just flat, right? But look at recently. It has been going up quite a bit. So you could see that there is an appetite for Ethereum among the institutional investors, which is why I think this is also helping them go up. And just like I showed you guys about Bitcoin's reserves on exchanges, look at Ethereum's reserve on exchanges. Up until about September timeframe, the exchanges had enormous amount of ETH. People were simply buying and trading it, right? But look at it. After September, that number started to drop significantly, even more so now, within the last month or so. This is a huge amount of supply. We're talking about going from about 26 million worth of ETH all the way down to about 20, right? So about 6 million less ETH on the exchanges. That is pretty big. That's pretty big. Shows that Ethereum also has a large number of holders, and basically they're tired of trading. They just want to hold it, right? And Ethereum's performance for the last year, surprisingly, has been more than double of Bitcoin's for the entire year. That's pretty amazing, right? So this is definitely not a time to be scared of alts, specifically something like Ethereum. I think Ethereum is going to do just fine. It's down barely 3% from yesterday, from its high of 17 something, right? So actually, this is the perfect opportunity to be buying your favorite alts, right? Even though Bitcoin is doing well, and then you notice all the alts are showing weakness, the name of the game is to buy low and sell high. Not the opposite. Not to FOMO in when things are pumping up to the moon and then watch it fall and then you feel horrible about yourself, right? The name of the game is to buy low and sell high, right? So that's why yesterday's stream I mentioned a lot of these altcoins, like very hot ones like Aave and Compound and all these other ones, Uniswap. They took a breather, right? And that's actually a really good thing because it gives you an opportunity to get in, and a lot of them start recovering today in a big way. One big surprise today is Binance Coin, which I talked about. It's a great hold because it's basically like buying shares in a Binance, but it's more than that. They do burning. You could get fees, less fees on exchange. You could use that on Binance Chain, right? There's DeFi that's also being built on Binance Chain that integrates with BNB. I mean, there's a whole lot of stuff going on with BNB, but surprised that it's up 20% today. That's a big jump. And of course, DeFi continues to go up. It's at $35 billion. And I think, quite honestly, this is actually really low. If you look at the market cap of the projects in total, about $40 billion. So you're not even at a 1-to-1 ratio in terms of how much liquidity is on them versus their market cap. When you look at banks and look at how much assets they hold versus their market cap, it's like hundreds times more. You know, the biggest banks in the world, just the top 100 banks in the world, they hold $100 trillion worth of assets. So it's a big difference. And if you look at both of this, the locked-in value, the market cap, compared to the overall market cap of the entire space, which is now over $1.2 trillion, I think there's a lot more room to grow, especially with DeFi in this space. And honestly, DeFi just makes a whole lot of sense for crypto, right? I mean, everything is a token. Everything is treated like it's money, right? So DeFi makes a whole lot of sense. Although I know that's simplifying it, but if you think about it, it's true. Bitcoin was created because of distrust in banks, right? It was meant to be a digital currency, new money, store of value, and it's coming true for all those things. But it's not efficient at everything, and that's where altcoins are taking over, and Ethereum introduced a lot of new concepts, especially with DeFi right now, and it's really changing the space. So it's very exciting. Very exciting overall. If you guys aren't excited, you need to watch me more, number one, and two, do a little more digging and research, because then I think you'll get more excited. All right. Said a lot, so I'll turn to you guys for some Q&A. Big T asks, how sure is it that Ethereum futures will come? It's already coming. It's announced. It's a done deal. It's coming on the 9th, Tuesday. So we'll see what happens. I think overall Ethereum futures, a lot of people are scared because of what happened with Bitcoin futures, but you know, I think we've gone beyond that. You know, the fact that grayscale clients are buying, and you know, the exchanges now, you know, the ETH reserves is dropping, shows that a lot of people have faith in Ethereum. So even right now at 200 billion market cap, I think they're undervalued. And plus they're coming out with a proposal where, if implemented, would actually make them deflationary, where they could actually burn ETH as usage goes up. That would be enormous. That would be enormous if the circulating supply starts dropping. Yeah, that would be pretty insane. HIP, I think that's how I say it, HIP. Appreciate that. Zooms. I like to think I did by exposing F2 pool, at least, bring awareness to it, and others joined in. So I think it did make a big difference. It shortened, I think, what was going on in terms of price suppression and all that. So yeah, overall, it's a good thing. Overall, we would have got past that anyways, but it's good that we discovered it and kind of brought attention to it, right? What do you think about Flamingo Finance? What's your opinion about Reef? I checked Reef. I don't have too much opinions about Reef. It's just like another DEX that's really built on Polkadot. That's the only thing. Flamingo Finance, I have no idea. Let's take a look. It is on Binance, so that's a good thing. And then, what is it? An interoperable full stack DeFi protocol on Neo. So it's the first, I don't know if it's the first, but it's one of the DeFi projects built for Neo. I guess that gives it a uniqueness, right? But I don't know what the hell's going on with Neo. They've been talking about Neo 3.0 forever. I know the testnet is out, but I don't know when the mainnet is coming. So I'll just say it's okay because it does have advantage being on Neo, I guess. And there's a lot. There's a DAO, okay? There's a swap feature, asset manager, cross-chain gateway. They're like doing a lot. But it seems like they're just coming out the protocol. So they're not launching the dApps. That's what it seems like. So whether or not people actually utilize this to create dApps or they create their own, I don't know. It's kind of like Loopring. Loopring had to create their own DEX to utilize their protocol because no one else was using it. So I don't know if it's the same with Flamingo if they're going to create their own. But I'll just say it's pretty interesting. Just hopefully Neo, picks up again. All right, I missed some super chats here. Badass, bad darky ass. Do you think there will be a flash ETH crash? And what's the low range? No, I don't think there's gonna be a flash ETH crash. And what's the low range for ETH in the next 6 to 8 months? I think right now is that low range for the next 6 to 8 months. I'm very, very bullish for the next 6 months. There's nothing holding the crypto market back. There's nothing. It's only going to get stronger. So don't worry about the lows because I think right now could be that low for the next 6 to 8 months. I think both Ethereum and Bitcoin is going to have very, very, very good, 2021. Sam says, my wife's 53rd birthday. Andrea, can you wish her happy birthday? Happy birthday, Andrea. But she probably didn't want you to let people know how old she is. She's also waiting for wife changing wealth. She's probably waiting for spouse changing wealth, right? But happy birthday, Andrea. What else is there? Going down. James asks, can you take a look at OGN? The team looks good. Origin. I looked at them a long time ago. They've been around for a while. I forgot what they do, though. Let's take a look. OGN staking is live. Earn up to 25%. Okay, blockchain power. Okay. Origin suite of products is revolutionizing how people shop and conduct business online. Effortlessly create a decentralized e-commerce store. Yes, that's what it was. So they're trying to be decentralized Shopify. That's the simplest way to look at it. All right, so the team, you mentioned about the team. They have some big names there. Serial entrepreneurs, a founder of PayPal, early employees at YouTube, energy managers at Google and Dropbox. Sounds pretty impressive. Let's see if they were. Why don't they just link their LinkedIn? I don't get projects that don't make it easy for you to research them. Coding, okay. I don't care if he started coding at age of 10. Just tell us where he worked at. He co-founded 3 other venture-backed companies, EventView, Torbit, acquired by Wallet. Okay, pretty good, although I never heard of those. He was a 3rd project manager at YouTube. I mean, although he's an early employee, he had nothing to do with the creation of YouTube. Yupon was one of the 6 founding team members of PayPal and first employee at YouTube. Okay. First employee rather, 3rd employee or 3rd PM. I mean, okay. I'll give you that. I guess it's somewhat impressive. Not really, and I can't verify because they don't link their LinkedIn. But yeah, I'll just say it's okay. You know, decentralized Shopify, why not? You know, it could happen. You know, we need decentralization of pretty much everything. So it could happen. Now, this is a little concerning, though. That the price of the token didn't go up that much, but the market cap did, which shows that a lot of tokens were released. So a little concerning there, just a little bit. All right, but overall, hopefully, decent project. Decent project. Ali asks, so when BTC blows up and there are no more reserves on exchanges, what happens then? Can they run out? Of course they will. If there's more buyers than sellers, and the buyers really, really, really want Bitcoins and as much of it as they can get, and exchanges run out, then yeah, the exchanges have to desperately try to buy from the OTC market. Right now, they have reserves. You know, people leave their crypto on there. They have their own reserves, and someone like Coinbase been mining Bitcoin for a long time, so they have like secret stashes of Bitcoin that they randomly open up if they need it. But yeah, the end game is if there's so much demand and there's nothing left, guess what's going to happen to the price? It's going to skyrocket. It may go even above $1 million at that point. Maybe 2 million, 10 million. Maybe it becomes like $1 billion one day because there's simply no one selling it, right? That's just how free market is. All right, there's a lot of super chats here, so I gotta go through this. The next one is mainframe 10-minute crypto. I remember I covered mainframe a while ago, but I don't like them at all for some reason. Be the bank fixed rate borrowing against crypto. I mean, okay, so they were not a DeFi play before. So I don't know what happened. Mainframe becomes Sabler Finance. So they've they were not in DeFi at all before. So I don't know what happened, but I guess this company bought them out. The protocol for real-time finance. So they're another. Yeah. So they're kind of like PayPal, right, or Voyager, or any of these apps. I don't know. So, I don't know. Very crowded space. I don't know if it's good or not. Especially that they've now merged, so makes it confusing. How high do you think Aave will go? Infinitely high. Aave can become the next JP Morgan. Who knows where that could be? You know, they can. These DeFi lending projects are essentially banks. They allow people to make deposits, right? And you get interest, really high interest, and you can take out loans. What do you think a bank does? That's all it does. Allow people to deposit and also take loans, like mortgage loans and personal loans and stuff like that, right? And DeFi allows you to do that already, especially like Aave. So I think companies like Aave, especially the leaders, they will continue to be the big dogs, right? Someone like Aave, and I think they're going to be in the top 10 pretty soon. And like I said, they could become the next JP Morgan in the next decade, and who knows how big they'll become then. So the upper limit is infinite. What are some good coins at this moment to purchase and ride up? Well, I've been talking about a lot of coins. So you need to maybe watch some of my old streams, but, you know, the big caps, Ethereum, Polkadot, Cardano, Chainlink, those are all very, very good holds. Uniswap, Aave. Obviously, they took a little breather, but these are, man, absolutely necessary, I think, at this point. Some other ones, Theta, Compound VeChain. These are all good. They're all taking a breather right now. All very, very, very good projects. Solana, UMA, these are good. Terra, very, very good. I really like Terra. And Solana, by the way. I really like those two. The Graph is good. Kusama, Zilliqa in a way. Ren, Swissberg, Loopring, I don't know. Kind of neutral on them. Hashgraph, 1 inch. 1 inch is really good. Voyager, very good. These are all good pickups right now, especially the ones that are in red, right? Because they've been pumping up so much. That's why they're a little bit weaker. People are taking profits to pump into Bitcoin, but that's fine. That's the perfect time when you need to buy because you buy low and you sell high, right? Pancake Swap is a good one. Engine is a good one. Couple other. Helium is also a good one. So hopefully that helps you. But yeah. I just saw someone ask me about Helium. Helium is actually a really interesting project. I just discovered them recently. So they were founded by Napster's co-founder and a couple other really impressive guys. They got really good funding, and they're already live. Basically, they're trying to create a wireless network. So rather than mine, you buy a little wireless box, and basically you get your mining by giving Wi-Fi access to your neighborhood, and it all like kind of syncs up, right? You're creating like a giant mesh network, and you get paid depending on usage. Anyone that's utilizing your wireless network, right, you get paid for that. So that's their version of mining. So I discovered them recently. I'm actually surprised that Helium didn't blow up more because this is actually really interesting and it's working, but I guess it's because it's not DeFi right now, so not a lot of people paying attention to them. But Helium is actually a good project. Bad Darky asks, I'm buying 17K worth of ETH on Monday at 3,800 now because you're live yesterday. Thanks for a heads up. You're the man. I appreciate it. What's the last super chat there? Thank you, George. I appreciate you. I appreciate that super chat and you tuning in. So, anything else? AMP. They renamed themselves, right? They're on Gemini. I think I always cover AMP. I always forget what they do. Yes, I've been getting asked AMP like many times. I don't know. I haven't done enough research on them. People keep asking about AMP, but it seems like it's just a new kind of blockchain that has fast transactions that could really, you don't even need to wait for it to settle, and it's very secure. Seems like a new kind of currency. I don't know if it's a stable coin or just a currency to be used for, let's say, e-commerce purposes. So it does sound pretty good, but beyond that, I can't verify the team and so forth. It's interesting that Gemini actually lists them, Bittrex lists them. Yeah, so it's Gemini usually doesn't list a lot of coins, but it's interesting that they did. So maybe they're backers to them or something. So it's okay project, but I need to do more research on AMP. But since so many people ask me, I do need to get more in tune with that project. What's your opinion on Elrond price prediction? I can't give a price prediction on Elrond because I'm not 100% aware of what they're doing with their roadmap, but they're another promising protocol coin. They've been doing really well recently. And their founders are investors in Binance and of several other projects, and they are getting involved with DeFi also. But I don't know what their roadmap is like. I don't know what else they're actually doing at this point. So a lot of projects are growing faster in ETH, right? But again, like what I always said about Bitcoin before, if you're trying to you know, stack sats, or you're trying to stack ETH at this point, right? You have to look at a longer picture. You can't just look at shorter time frames, right? You have to make sure that they do have, they can outperform. Otherwise, you're just losing out, right? So you do have to pay attention to that. There's a lot of interesting projects, and some of them do get pumped up. But keep in mind, you know, some of them tend to dump down too really quick. So you have to differentiate the good ones from the bad ones. All right. So internet scale is live, a highly scalable, fast, secure blockchain. Yeah. So it's a protocol. You know, you can stake on Elrond, right? So that's pretty good. Kind of like DeFi, but you're staking the EGLD token, and they are investors in Binance. So that's very, very good. I don't know what they're going, but what their roadmap is though. So I don't know. But Elrond is a good project. It is a good project. Prediction on Atom and Algro. I'm neutral on both of those projects, so I think there's better buys at this point, so I can't give you a prediction on those. Heap, can you share your thoughts on ETC this season? ETC, Ethereum Classic? No. Are you kidding me? Why? That's like, Ethereum Classic is like, it's like buying Litecoin over Bitcoin. Just buy Ethereum. Why would you concentrate on Ethereum Classic? Last time I heard, they were trying to make themselves, you know, more focused on smart contract. I mean, not smart contracts, more focused on being a currency rather than smart contracts like Ethereum. But I don't know if that's the real thing, if that's the real direction they want to do, they want to go. So I don't know about that. All right, I think that's it. That's it. All right, guys. I'll end the stream with that. Overall, Bitcoin doing very good, above $40,000. This fall from 41 down to where it is 40, perfectly natural. It's not because of F2 pool dumping. We can't associate every single breather is F2 pool dumping. It's not. This is perfectly normal, letting Bitcoin cool off a little bit, right? But in the meantime, some of that money is flowing back into altcoins, which is good. But there's still a lot of really, really, really good projects right now that is for sale at a discount. So this is the time to be looking at them. Look at this video, what I talked about. Look at some of my previous videos, right? Especially about Ethereum and DeFi, and you get a lot of ideas. And of course, if you want more ideas, then join my Patreon group where I do share more ideas with my members. And if you want a crash course on Bitcoin, then check out my Teachable page. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. As always, smash up the like, subscribe to the channel. I'm not sure if I'm going to have a live stream tonight. Well, I guess it just depends on what's going on, right? And pay attention to my Twitter and Twitter, Facebook, so you'll know if I do or not. All right. Have a good one, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.